Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Xochitl. If you are new here, do not forget to hit that subscribe button so you can keep up with some more videos, especially if you love makeup tutorials, reviews, and demos, and more. Today, I picked up a bunch of goodies from E.L.F Cosmetics a while ago, finally getting around to reviewing these here on my channel, and I'm especially excited because I finally got my hands on the E.L.F Poreless Putty Primer. This, if you guys know, if you've been following here on YouTube, has been sold out. People are like, oh my god, this is a great dupe for the Tatcha Silky Canvas Primer, which is like the mini little sample is like $20 or something. This is about like $6 or $8. I'll put the prices down below, but I'm super excited. Want to try it out and see how it goes with my dry skin, as well as I'll be talking about the other products that I picked up. I picked up an eyeshadow palette from E.L.F Cosmetics. This one is the new Classics eyeshadow palette. They had a couple of other ones. I feel like this one was like a nice everyday one, or I can take it to nighttime type of a deal, so I wanted to test this out, as well as some of their bronzers. I have a blush and a highlight as well, and I'll be using some other E.L.F products. Ooh, and finally I have been able to test out the E.L.F foundation. This has been around for a while. This is the E.L.F Flawless Finish Foundation, but they have always kind of had it in like just like a really bad color selection. There wasn't that much, but they have expanded. I feel like especially since they had their E.L.F 16-hour camo concealer, which I have. They also have come out with this other concealer as well, so I wanted to see how it would compare to the E.L.F 16-hour camo concealer, which is only like $5 or $6. I'll list that video review down below. This one is the E.L.F Flawless Concealer, so kind of want to compare. Is it going to be as full coverage or maybe a little bit less for those of you who aren't all about that full coverage life? So let's just get started. And I don't have an eyeshadow primer from E.L.F, but what I've been using, because this is so full coverage, I'm going to go ahead and take the E.L.F 16-hour camo concealer, and I'm going to use this as my eyeshadow base because I have been doing this for whatever look I've been doing, whether it's, you know, using a drugstore palette or a high-end palette, because I just love how it kind of cancels everything out here. So this is going to be our base. And I'm going to incorporate some other like E.L.F favorites products that I've used before and done reviews on, so we can just kind of keep this E.L.F Cosmetics friendly. To go ahead and set that concealer, I'm going to take my E.L.F. This is my contour palette. I love this palette so much, but I'm just going to go ahead and take this yellow shade. And this is actually an E.L.F brush a friend of mine got me from a like collection. So I thought this was perfect to set underneath the eyes, or the lids, and underneath the eyes, and or if you want to do like an intense contour type of a deal. So now I'm going to go ahead and open up the palettes, the E.L.F palette, and I'm going to take, let's swatch. I'm between Truffle and, oh, these feel so smooth. So this is Truffle and this is Darling, a little bit darker. So I'm actually going to go ahead, and take Truffle first. These are pretty, have that kind of kickback there, but I want to see, I don't mind if there's a little bit of fallout as long as I get that pigment. Oh yeah, I can see that. That's a light color. That pigmentation and that blendability. So I'm just gonna do one eye on camera to save us some time, and I'll do the other eye off camera. But all right, okay, E.L.F. Dang, all right. I was originally gonna go in with Darling, but I feel like for my skin tone, if I want just like a nice light transition shade, I think Truffle is really nice. Darling, I think would be great for those of you as a transition shade if you're a little bit more tan, a little bit deeper than me. Either way, I think that would still be good. I'm still probably going to use Darling, just a little shade lighter for that extra dimension for my skin tone. So I like that there's some options there. I think we're going to go a little bit on the purple route. So I'm going to go ahead and take this shade Charmer just to kind of get that mauviness. And we're going to add this right over Truffle. I like to tap off, but it doesn't like completely tap off all the color. Ooh, that's a pretty shade. So yeah, this definitely has fallout, but I'm seeing the color payoff because I know I've definitely dealt with some eyeshadow palettes where they have a lot of fallout and nothing sticks onto your eyes type of a deal. But this is really nice. It's a really pretty like purple shade. Just gonna bring you guys in a bit so you can see that. I like the way these are blending out. These blend out really nicely, really easily. And mind you, I'm only using a concealer as my eyeshadow base. Sort of start to bring this together, bring some brightness in. I'm taking a little bit of that concealer on the back of my hand. And we're going to carve out the lid, just so we can brighten it up a bit. Now that we've got that, I'm going to go ahead and take the shade Cosmo, and we're just going to add this on the lid. I do wish I had a little bit more variety. I feel like they're a little like light lid shades other than this like nice gold, and then you get like different colored ones. So I just feel like different skin tones maybe. This could possibly look a little bit ashy. I mean, the shimmer is nice though. They do have the black cherry, but like I would like a nice something in between, you know, like a Cosmo and a rose gold, you know? Like you can either go rose gold maybe if you're like medium to like deep. But I feel like if you're my skin tone or lighter, then you might go like a Cosmo. I would like it still rose gold for different to totally look. But you kind of see where I'm saying. I think rose gold will look great on like a nice tan to medium skin tones. But I feel like you have Cosmo, you have Beloved, you have Glamour. They're just all really light shimmers. You know, I would have kind of traded one of those for like something in between. Still beautiful. Just saying. I'm gonna go back in with a little bit of Charmer, and we're just going to blend and add a little bit of purple up there. I gotta say though, I do like this palette, the blendability, the pigmentation, much better than their other palettes they've had, which is just like one like those like brick rectangular ones. I think I tried like the all mattes or something, and I don't know, I just wasn't the biggest fan of how that like lasted or like kind of went on. I know a lot of people do like those, but it wasn't my absolute favorite. I thought it was just fine, but this is definitely a step up. So if they have like other like color schemes, I would totally pick those up and try those out. Next, I'm just gonna go into the shade Muse, and I'm just gonna add this for a little bit of smokiness. And the brush that I'm using is in ABH, Anastasia Beverly Hills, just like a dual-ended brush. Ooh, ooh, that's a nice. That dark matte is nice. Ooh, I like that. It's like a nice plummy shade. And we're just going to turn that around and blend that in. And I like that the other side is clean, so you can just get a nice clean blending. Just going to go ahead and finish up the other eye. We're going to add some liner, and you'll see how this kind of comes together. All right, so I've got wing liner and lashes on, the things that are not e.L.F. Cosmetics. It's my NYX Matte Liquid Liner. I'm trying to think, does e.L.F. have a liquid liner I need to try? Let me know down below. And these are my Ardell Wispy Lashes. Now I'm going to go ahead and use my e.L.F. Poreless Putty Primer finally, but what I'm gonna do is, just so I can kind of see the difference since I haven't tried the foundation before, I'm gonna do half of my face with the Poreless Putty Primer, and then the other half of my face I'm gonna use my L'Oreal Glow Lock Primer that I love. So I'm gonna dip into this Poreless Putty, and let's try to remember. Ooh, it feels good. That feels very nice actually. Doesn't feel like silicone-y or anything. It feels smooth. I was not expecting that. I honestly expected more of like a silicone feeling, especially sometimes I feel like maybe even like a little bit gritty. So let's see how that goes on. Okay, now the other half of my face, I'm gonna go with my favorite L'Oreal Glow Lock Primer because I know how this works. This is usually like my go-to for any foundation that I use. Also feels very smooth. So we're just gonna see what's up. Which one do we like better? Just because I haven't ever really tried this foundation before. Normally I will try a primer with like my favorite foundation so that I know like, okay, is it the foundation or is it, you know, the primer type of a deal? So we'll see. Now we're gonna go ahead and take the e.L.F. Flawless Finish Foundation. I have picked up mine in the shade Sand. Ooh, and it has a pump for $6. So let's see. I'm hoping this might be close to my shade. If not, luckily we have a bronzer. So let's do the same thing. Let's do half of my face. Let's try a brush, and then the other half, let's try a beauty blender. So first, going in with my favorite Wet n Wild. This is my flat top foundation brush, and just pressing that in. I'm wondering if this is more of like a satin finish foundation. I think I'm gonna like the Beauty Blender a little bit more. Yeah, I'm okay with the brush. I'm ready, like, not. But the coverage was nice. I'm just gonna take my Beauty Blender. It is evening out. It's actually a pretty good match. It is evening out all that redness that I have. As you can see, I still have on this side. Definitely, oh yeah, definitely prefer it so much more with a Beauty Blender than a brush. Definitely, I tried to hydrate my skin too because I felt like this wasn't going to be like a dewy, luminous finish. We'll see how it dries down. This is a side with the Poreless Putty Primer. It's looking a little bit matte. So let's go on this side. It is like 80 degrees or so outside. I have my windows open. I'm getting so hot. It's, if you can see, it's definitely not a super watery foundation, but it's not like super duper thick. So now we're going over the side with the Glow Lock Primer. And I feel like I see a lot of oily skin people use the Poreless Putty Primer and they love it. I'm trying to think if I've seen, I don't know if I've seen reviews for dry skin. So I'm just wondering, like, it's probably not a luminous, you know, type of dewy finish. Since oily skin people seem to love it. But I figured, if anything, you know what, summertime is the best time for me to try out all these foundations just to give it a fair shot since my skin's not like overly dehydrated. I think I like it a little bit more above the Glow Lock. And mind you, I have dry skin, so that's just helping this foundation look a little bit more luminous. It's definitely looking a little bit more matte on this side, but this is one layer on each side. I feel like the all over Beauty Blender side maybe even has a little bit more coverage. Yeah, definitely liking this side over the Glow Lock a little bit more, but let's give it a shot. We'll let it calm down. Just adding a little bit more over here. But I think one pump and you're good. I think normal skin off the bat, this might look really nice. We'll see for dry skin. We shall see how it dries down. Or if anything, yeah, definitely it's like, maybe I will be more luminous on the L'Oreal Glow Lock side, but will my pores look better and smoother on this side? Maybe this is something I have to do a combo deal. Because while I do love a nice luminous dewy primer, I feel like sometimes with my pores starting to get those around there, it's like not the best. Now going in with the E.L.F. Flawless Concealer, and we're going to see what type of coverage this is, comparing it also to the E.L.F. 16-Hour Camo Concealer. So this, let's see. Oh yeah. I picked up mine in the shade Medium Sand. So it's not as brightening, but it's also not exactly the same color. Or is it? What was I gonna say? Yeah, definitely not as thick as the 16-Hour Camo Concealer. Something much lighter, a little bit creamier, because I do love the 16-Hour Camo Concealer, but it is definitely a heavier coverage. So this is more like a medium, not totally light, but definitely more of a medium coverage. See how that covers. Ooh. Yeah, this is much lighter than the 16 hours. So for those of you who felt that that was really heavy, this is a good option. This is like the opposite of a matte finish. It's definitely more hydrating. But you can still kind of see my dark circles peeking through there. And the foundation didn't seem to quite cover that little guy right there. The foundation is more of like, I would say, a medium coverage. Same thing like this. It's like a light medium coverage. Not totally extremely medium, but not totally extremely light. Okay, actually, okay. Hold up. I'm starting to like this side of my face as well. With the foundation, it's starting to look pretty nice, actually. Okay, it's drying out pretty good. Okay. But, this concealer, I like the feeling, but I feel like I have to go in with another layer because you can totally still see my under eyes. Just a little bit on my dark spots. You would probably need like either a color corrector or just go in like another layer. For those of you who maybe don't have dark circles, I think you'd like this. I like the feeling of it, but the coverage for me, I feel like maybe not enough. Yeah, I feel like the coverage is just not enough. I personally, I think, prefer the coverage of the 16-hour Camo, but I do like how this blends out. I would maybe just pair this with the color corrector if I really wanted to use it, because I do like how it blends out. I love the creaminess of it, especially I do have dry skin, so I do appreciate a hydrating concealer. It's alright, it's alright. It's not bad. It's just depending on what are your problem areas, or what do you need to cover. If you have really bad dark circles, you're gonna need a little extra help. I'm gonna go back into this palette just to quickly set that, since this is more hydrating, so I probably will crease a little bit sooner. I'm just going into my contour palette. Next, we're gonna go in really quick. I'm gonna fill in my brows so I start to come together a little bit. I'm going in with my Ultra Precise brow pencil, which I've done a full review and demo on. I'll link that down below for you guys, but I really do like this brow pencil. Yeah, I wish this concealer had a little bit more coverage. But let's finish up the face. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the eyeshadow palette. I'm going to go back in with a little bit more of Charmer and a pencil brush. This is from Morphe, and I'm just going to take this underneath or on my lash line. I'm just going to add a little bit of purple there. I actually do like how this kind of turned out. I haven't done a purple eye look in a while. I'm just gonna add some color, and sometimes what I'll do is I'll go in, just kind of add so I can get a little bit more color there, a little definition, kind of add to that like cut crease a look. Then what we're gonna do is take a flat top pencil brush, and I'm gonna take that shade Muse, that nice plummy shade. We're just gonna add this for definition, and we're not gonna bring this all the way underneath the lash line, just maybe about halfway. I'm just gonna pounce and press that in, just to add a little bit of smokiness underneath. You can also do this with the black shade, but just kind of matching what I did on the top. Next, we're gonna go ahead and take the bronzer for a test run. I believe they had about 3 different shades. I got mine, I think it was in the middle, Forever Sun Kissed. And let's see how this shade works out for me. The brush that I'm gonna use is my favorite. This is also from E.L.F. This is like their Flawless Precision Airbrush brush. I'll link it down below, but it's $10. It's on like the higher price range of their brushes, but totally worth it. My favorite for a bronzer or contour. It just kind of like chisels the cheeks out really nicely. So I'm gonna go ahead. Okay, that's not too dark. We're gonna go in. Oh, okay. Yeah, and add that. Not too dark. Just like a shade darker as my bronzer. I do like this shade. Also, am I cheating because this brush is just so awesome? I don't know. But it's like if this bronzer would not go on as nicely and easily with this brush, then I know we have a problem. But that's going on rather like flawlessly. Very soft, just a little bit of fallout, nothing too suspicious. Nice sun-kissed. I'll just show you the back of my hand. It's like, it's not too like orange. It's like a nice shade. I feel like I've actually tanned a little bit too. So maybe I could even try the next shade up. But this is like a nice, subtle. You don't have to go super dark. You don't have to go like 5 shades darker with your bronzer. Like, I know sometimes we want to, but it's okay. That blended on really nicely. That blended on, that looks really nice on the cheeks. Smooth. Doesn't really like skip a beat or anything. Doesn't look patchy. Easy to blend. Okay. And this is supposed to be like the primer infused bronzer, so better be smooth. Next, we're gonna go in with the blush, and of course I got like a corally shade. This is in the shade Always Cheeky. And I'm actually using an E.L.F. blush brush, old school. I think Blaze tried to get this one, but it survived. It survived my dog. Oh, let's see. Is that too light? Oh, that's a pretty. It's a pretty peach shade. It's a matte finish, but like not too matte. Ooh, that looks nice. Should have gotten a pink since we went purple, but it still works. Just gonna go in no product and just blend together and blend out the blush, bronzer, and then we're gonna try out the highlight, which I'm excited for. They had 2 different new highlights, and this is supposed to be like a really intense one. So let's see what's up. So this is the 24 karat gold highlight. They had a couple of different shades I definitely appreciated. I was like, if anything, I'm gonna go a little bit tanner. So let's try the 24 karat gold. Let's swatch. Ooh. It's like a rose gold almost. I feel like it has like an overspray almost. So hopefully we're getting... Okay, you ready? Let's see, is that an overspray? I want the actual highlight. Well, there's that. Let's see if we can get some of that. This is the ColourPop brush. Okay, there we go. There you are. Yeah, I feel like I kind of had like a filter on top. Ooh. Well, that's nice. Ooh. Okay. There you are. Wow. That's pretty nice. And it's like not chunks of glitter or anything. Holy shit. Okay. You wanted the highlight? You got the highlight. Ooh. Okay. I can just imagine with my other... Oh my god. I can just imagine with my other highlight brushes. Holy cow. Okay. That's nice. Yeah, I feel like it just... I feel like I've had this problem before when like E.L.F had their like... What is it? Like their moonstone highlights or something? You have to kind of like get through that top layer. And then it's like nice. Ooh. Yeah. Holy cow. It's going to go underneath the brow there. Yes. Holy... It looks like wet on the way I'm looking at it in the camera. Oh, God. Once I kind of like set that down with spray, I can't stop now. Okay, and I think this is a good shade for like my skin tone now, and especially as I'm getting tanner. 24 karat gold, like it's not too light that makes me look ashy, and it's also not too like dark of a gold that it just, you can see the gold. Kind of blends in really nicely with my skin tone. They have some other options though, which I think is great. So they have somewhere where it's like lighter and like a little bit darker. So this is like nice in the middle, that I think this one will complement a lot of different skin tones. Yeah. Ooh, okay. Okay, E.L.F, this is like $5-6 maybe max. Ooh. That's nice. I like it. Okay. Do not forget under eye, brow, and the inner corner highlight. I kind of want to use that. What do you call it? I'm just gonna take Uptown. I want like this one's like kind of making a mix of Uptown and cream. I'm gonna take this underneath the brow bone. I want something matte. And then let's do the inner corner highlight. Then I'll comb my hair in a bit and we'll finish off the lips. Let's try a little bit of Glamour. And because I'm extra, I want to spritz my brush. Or should I have done the highlight? Let's see what Glamour's got going on here. Ooh, okay, that's nice. Ooh, yeah, that's nice. Going to go ahead and dry my hair, fix it up for you guys, and we'll come back for the lips. I've got a couple different options. All right, so it's kind of been maybe about an hour since I've had the foundation and the face makeup on, because I did take a break to have some lunch right now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and finish off the lips, but overall it's not looking like dry or anything. Definitely a little bit more glowy on this side of my face. And semi-glowy now, the way it's kind of sitting on my face, and not super duper flawless. But I'm going to wait and see how it kind of glows. I think on camera it looks okay. I feel like you just can kind of see like whatever, maybe a little like texture I kind of have going around the face. So far it's okay. But we're going to go ahead and do the lips. I'm trying to think, does E.L.F have any lip liners? I'm not sure. But I'm going to go ahead and use the Jordana lip liner. I have not used this one in a while. Rockin' Rose. Keeping a kind of cool tone on the lips, I'm going to go in with the E.L.F. This is their liquid matte lipsticks. This one is in the shade Blushing Rose. Ooh, that's pretty. I hadn't used this one in a while. I have a lip swatch video of all the matte lipsticks, the liquid matte lipsticks that I bought at the time from E.L.F. I really do like this formula. It's like a nice cool tone pink shade. that is a completed look for right now. It's actually 2:51 p.m. I've been wearing this already for about an hour. So since about like 2 p.m. it's already around 3. Do some check-ins and see how everything kind of wears throughout the day. It's around like 80 some degrees here in Chicago. So we will see. I want to see how the eyeshadow holds up. So far I actually really like that look. I haven't done purples lately. And then the rest of the products, new products that I tried out. But so far kind of giving me some of that luminosity. But I'll check back in with you guys and tell you how I liked everything. Hey guys, so it's about 12:30 a.m. I've been wearing this makeup for like about 10 hours or so that's why we look a hot mess. But let's do a final check-in on the products because I forgot to do check-ins throughout the day. Just busy. Basically, when I was done with my makeup, I went to go do makeup for my boyfriend's cousin, and then we went to go eat, and then we went to a birthday, and then I was like, whoops, totally forgot. But let's do a total on assessment of the products. And honestly, I gotta say, eyeshadow has held up really nicely, and like I said, it's really hot today. Luckily I've been able to kind of be indoors and air conditioned more so, but still, like, the amount of time I spent outside, I would definitely recommend this eyeshadow palette. Like, any of these, like this formula is really great if you guys want a really great eyeshadow palette. These are like $14-15 or so. Much better. I feel like I prefer these a little bit better than like the rectangular like pan ones. Such a step up. I would love to see like a nice warm neutrals type of shade, or like some warmer shades. This one is definitely leans more on the cooler side, so if you love cooler shades, I would definitely recommend this one. I liked it. I feel like you can definitely get a lot of different looks from it. I kind of want to experiment a little bit more. Let me know if you want to see some more tutorials, especially that rose gold shade. I want to see that on my lid, but that held up really nicely. I was so tired in the car and I was like, wait, I have to do one final check. I was ready to rip off my eyelashes. The next two products, the foundation. Honestly, the foundation, I think this is a pass for me. I have dry skin, and mind you, I didn't set it with the powder or anything, but that's what I've just been doing with most of my foundations these days. More than anything, maybe I'll do it lightly with the powder around the perimeters of my face, and we still look kind of good, a little bit luminous, but I kind of feel like for the first time, it's like, should I have like set my face with the powder, which is really odd for like dry skin. So it just makes me wonder how oily skin would kind of do with this foundation. Is it a little bit too oily? It did somewhat of, like, I think it was just fine. I didn't like totally dislike it. I've had some foundations that I've liked less, but I'm not in love with it. I feel very greasy and oily, and I wasn't even outside that long, you know, type of a deal. Enough so I can get a little luminous. It definitely faded off. Like, I can see the redness kind of start to peek through around my cheek area, and then it just kind of like, I don't know, it's like a greasy, but like I look kind of dry, you know, like it's weird. It's like a combination. Yeah, really dry around the chin. Actually, I'm not really a big fan. It's kind of faded. It's not flawless, like they said. I feel like I'm maybe normal skin, but like, ooh, I got a little bit of black. But yeah, around my nose, it's like, it's weird. I've never been oily and like really dry at the same time. But I'm not a fan. Like, if you can see in the camera, I look really oily. No touch-ups, nothing. And after 10 hours, yeah, for me, for dry skin, I can just imagine. I feel like oily skin, you look like a grease lake. For the primer, I feel like if anything, the primer has kind of helped save this foundation a little bit. Definitely a little bit more oily on this side, but I really kind of still want to try out the primer with like my favorite foundations and really see what the difference would be with that. But yeah, I still want to, I don't have like a full-on verdict on the primer, so I gotta try it out a little bit more. I didn't dislike it. I like the feeling that it kind of gave me on my face, and I feel like it kind of helped salvage this foundation a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. I would still want to test out the primer. So the Flawless Concealer, also, this is really going to come down to preference. I feel like for me, I have dark circles, so I think it's coverage-wise, it's not the best. I do like the kind of hydrating feeling underneath my eye. So I feel like if you don't have dark circles, maybe this is worth a shot. But the only thing maybe I would be concerned of, if you also have really bad creasing underneath your eyes, I would avoid this concealer, because for me, this is the first time I ever noticed, like, it definitely started to like kind of crease like right there. This side was all good, but you know, kind of crease. I did also add like 2 layers to cover my dark circles, which I feel like it really didn't. So don't layer it too much. You're not going to get full coverage. I feel like it's not going to really add much coverage. But if you do have creasing dark circles, skip it. If you don't, I think it would, you know, definitely give you that nice, flawless effect. The next product, the primer infused bronzer. Mine was in the shade Forever Sunkissed. I can still kind of see it like on my face. I loved how it went on. I loved how I blended out, and I love how it looks on the face. It's like not too orange. I think this is a great complementary shade for my skin tone. I can maybe even go the next shade up for like the summertime. I would definitely recommend this bronzer. I think they did a great job. I remember I used to always maybe use like my contour palettes and like just one shade in the bronzer, which is nice now that I have some other options for bronzers. So I would definitely recommend. Like, this was just so smooth. It did have a little bit of fallout when kind of like dipping my brush in there, but like not like a lot. Like, that's just like normal amount of fallout, but it went on really nicely on my skin. The blush for me, I think for when I'm not as tan, I think this would kind of be perfect. It still looks really nice. I think I would, if anything, just go the next shade up. This one was in the shade Always Cheeky. I think this is definitely great for lighter skin tones. As you get a little bit more medium tan, like me right now, I'm a little bit tanner. I think I would go maybe one shade up, but it still looked really nice. I feel like it kind of faded. I can still kind of see like that peachiness of it. Still looks really, it still looks like I still kind of get it, but I mean 10 hours not too bad. I think throughout the day though, the way that it applied, it was matte, but it wasn't chalky. Just the color, I feel like, can tend to make it maybe look a little bit more like that, but that's because I feel like I'm a little bit tanner right now. Normally this would be like a great, like perfect go-to, and I'm not like this tan. And I mean, for me, like, that's just how light I am. So I feel like in the winter time, it's going to be a great blush. I definitely would, you know, try and check out the other like deeper tones. The highlight in the 24 karat gold shade, I think the color was great. This definitely gave me a nice like wet look. I think I prefer maybe how it looks maybe a little bit more on camera as opposed to straight up in person. It didn't give me like chunks of glitter. I'm still kind of like torn with this highlight. It's like, I like it, but I don't love it, only because sometimes I feel like even when I kind of like added some Fix Plus, I even added my beauty blender, I feel like it still maybe kind of sits a little bit on top of the face. Like, there's just something like I need to like blend it in more, or I don't know what, do I have to like get through like that layer of like film a little bit more, and then it'll be like even more smooth? Because I feel like that was like kind of, I was like, okay, I had to get through that, and then it looked great, because if not, I was like, where's the highlight type of a deal? But then I don't know, just the way it kind of like on my face, like it's just not as flawless as I would like it to be. Like my other highlights, I want to play with it some more, maybe get through that first little layer there and see if that makes a difference as I use it more, type of a deal. So I don't know, you guys let me know if you guys have tried this highlight, if you had like the kind of same issues, or just in general, what did you do? But I feel like, yes, it's the pop-in highlights, and it's still kind of, we're still there, we're still glowing, but just the way it's kind of like sitting, it's not bad, but it's just like I've seen better, you know, like it gives me that sheen. It just kind of like melts in with the rest of my face after I do, you know, my sprays and all that stuff. But this one's kind of like, you could be doing a better type of a deal, but also it could be the foundation on top, maybe it's a primer, you know, type of a deal. So I want to try this with like my go-to products and see how it kind of sits on top of the foundation, because it's like I don't want to have this lose points. Like, now that I think about it, it's like it could be the foundation. The way the foundation doesn't exactly sink into my skin or sit on my face as perfectly as flawless as my other foundation. So I want to try this with like my current love, the Maybelline Dream Urban Cover, or my Milani. I feel like, you know what, that's the problem. So let's not dock at any points. We're going to use a little bit more, and I'll kind of have like an update from there. If it's, I think it's the foundation, because like the way the foundation's kind of sitting on my face right now, I'm not feeling it. So those were the newest products that I just tried from E.L.F. Cosmetics. The newest products to me. I know they've been kind of lingering on the website for a bit, and I have not gotten my hands on them. Usually I'm pretty good about the newest releases. There's just so much makeup to get to these days, and as you know what, finally let's do it. I think they had like a 50% off on a bunch of their products, and I picked some more up at Target. I got the Poreless Putty Primer, and I was like, well, let's just get some more products type of a deal. Let me know if you love seeing these E.L.F. reviews kind of in bulk, newest and greatest products. They've already come out with like a new jelly launch of products, so there's always amazing E.L.F. products to try out. Not everything is going to be a hit. You're going to have some hits and some misses like some other brands, but I still love E.L.F. and I still get excited about their products, and I'm always looking forward to trying new ones. So let me know, comment down below your favorite E.L.F. products. Maybe you've seen them here on my channel, maybe you haven't. maybe I need to try them out. I'll link down below a bunch of e.l.f. reviews that I've done in case you've missed any of them, but this is definitely a brand of mine that I love. I feel like they still kind of stay on par with like the drugstore prices. Very, very fair. I'm hoping they come out with I'm hoping for a new foundation. They had that flawless finish for a while, and then, you know, it's like when they came out with the 16-hour camo, I was hoping they'd come out with another foundation. So I hope they do so I can try it out. I love complexion products. I hope they come out with just so many new goodies for me to try because I'm always super excited. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to keep up with some more, and I'll see you guys next time. It's time to take off my lashes. I'm bald. It feels just as good as taking off your bra. It's past my bedtime, guys. I'm gonna fall asleep right here. Oh, my lipstick. I did not touch up. PS. Whoops.